back to Vinovations, and today we are just going to be here sitting on a corner at Vinovations to talk about wine and what we've been doing for our holiday traditions, Thanksgiving. So we have our favorite Food Network chef, Kev D, and we have our wine manager from Vinovations, Cassandra, and you have myself, Jason Lee. We thought we'd just get together today, take a break from having Kevin cook all the time for us.
It's nice.
Even though he prepared some snacks.
Oh, and we do have some snacks. And we thought we'd just get casual today and just talk about what we do for our family Thanksgiving traditions, as well as some of the wines that might pair well with some of the foods that we are preparing for the holidays. And Cassandra, what do you have for us today?
So, I mean, I really wanted to start off with the whole traditional household kind of thing because a lot of people do different dishes. And especially right now, a lot of people aren't being able to go to their extended family's household. So they're in this rut where they have to figure out, oh, I'm hosting this year. What am I going to do? Maybe they've never cooked on their own for Thanksgiving before. It's a lot of pressure to pass the torch family member to family member, especially if you're not expecting it. So I thought we could talk about some easy dishes and then just the ways that wines can pair with different certain dishes, how heat and acid kind of cuts different stuff on different dishes, and just, finding some good pairings so that we can get through the holidays together.
Oh, I agree. And I noticed you guys have wine and I do not.
I know.
So what do you suggest? What do we got? Well, something off the white?
Yeah, we'll start with the white. So we have our Garnish by Chisia. This is a really good option. It's a little bit effervescent, if you will. It's got this nice little bubble that really blows off quickly after you open the bottle. Really nice citrus fruit. So this is going to be good. Cheers. This is going to be really good for any sort of appetizer or just morning wine as you're preparing your turkey or your ham or whatever you're making in your household.
You said morning wine.
Morning wine.
I mean, most people start pretty early on the holidays,
Absolutely.
at least in my household.
100%.
And that's one of our traditions.
Well, there you go. You start off early, but you have to remember, when we start off early in the morning, we're not really drinking wine. We're tasting wine because we need to know what we're going to prepare for the afternoon.
A lot of sips.
A lot of
Yes.
sips.
I think that's a big issue too, is a lot of people will base their dinner around like a wine that's centric. So I always say, plan your dinner first, plan your menu, and then think about what wines you want to pair with it, because you have so many different options out there. You don't need to find a wine and say, oh, this is what I want to pair with whatever dishes I'm going to this household in. So I really think it's important to set your goals, set what kind of menu style you want to have, and then come down to the pairings after that, because that way you're going to get the best kind of pairing.
Yeah, well, let's face it. This year's going to be different than any other year.
So you think?
Yeah, well, since you're only going to have your 4 or 5 core people at home, you want to make it special. So try a few wines that you haven't had before. Get a couple different special wines and mix it up. As we like to do the same traditional things, but since this is a different year, why not make it special?
Yeah.
I would agree. So then if you were looking to pair your wines with your meals, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what kind of wine should you actually bring so you know what to pair? So like staples, like a Pinot Noir,
Yeah,
a
of
Zin,
course.
a Cab. For myself, I've got a cellar of wine.
Mm-hmm.
So I just go downstairs and
What's mostly in your cellar? What do you like to collect?
other than tequila, one tequila. I've got mostly reds, and I've got wines from Moldova, and they're phenomenal. So now I've got a wide collection, and you've tried the Saperavi.
Yeah, we did a Vino Live episode with that, and it was great.
Yeah.
Actually, it was one of your cranberry jams with the Saperavi.
Yeah, it was a blackberry jam, had cranberries, some Granny Smith apples, balsamic vinegar, all kinds of fun, big, bold flavors, and it stood up perfectly.
Yeah.
Oh, phenomenal.
And now is the time to try new varietals. I mean, you always have your big guys like your Cabernet, Sauvignon, your Merlot, because Merlot is coming back into the picture, Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, and Pinot Grigio, really. And those are your big guys, and those are your safety wines. Those are your go-tos. And often they do pair very well, but, there's new world styles, there's old world styles, so feel free to branch out. I mean, there is that whole notion of what grows together goes together, but you can play around with different features of, different regions and their terroir and what's going to pair together with, say, a casserole, or if you do, personally, my family does a meat stuffing instead of a bread stuffing. So we like a bit of a bolder red to go with our turkey. It just is something that we've always done in my family.
So then tell me about this wine.
This anise?
Yes.
This is the first time I've tried it.
And what do you think of it?
I think it's fantastic. Like I said, it has a nice little effervescence to it, so it's got a little bubble to it. This would be a really good alternative to doing something for seafood. Like I said, light dishes, any sort of like pasta crostini, any sort of like cheese, like a mozzarella or a burrata. I don't know. What are staples in you guys' households?
Well, I have
that
a
you guys
question
do?
for you guys. Talking about bubbles,
Yeah.
and we're talking about the holidays. I'm a very festive guy. I love to pop a bottle of champagne, make a toast,
Not just
prosecco,
pop.
Savor it.
sparkling. We savor it on yachts. But just if it's me and my family and my brothers, everybody sitting around, it's very festive to pop a bottle,
Mhm.
make a toast. You guys have a couple favorite champagnes, prosecco, sparkling wines that you like to throw out?
I mean, what's one of your favorites?
I mean, we have a really good collection of Italian bubbles here, but we've also brought in some Moldovan style bubbles, and those ones have a really different kind of, I don't want to say kick to them, but they have kind of more depth and complexion to them. So those ones have been really fun to pair with just past hors d'oeuvres and just mixing them with cocktails. I'm really big into sparkling cocktails.
Yes.
We'll always do like a spumante sparkling with, we'll get frozen pink lemonade. Those little, you crack the can,
Oh, yeah.
you mix that with the
Country
spumante.
time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then you throw in a little bit of vodka and then some frozen cranberries.
And some of that Kiel vodka.
Kiel vodka,
Kiel
and then a
vodka.
prosecco and bubbly float on there.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like sets
Yes.
right off.
A little rosemary garnish.
Yes.
It makes it look fancy and you're kind of dressing up just a regular sparkling wine. I don't know. We like to make a cocktail out of it. So.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. And then we also have like your typical Moet and your Blue
Mhm.
Clicquot, right?
Yep.
And one of our friends, Jenny's, we have Champy as well,
Yep.
right? So those are all bubbles
Mhm.
that are phenomenal. But for me, I like to drink your everyday bubbles.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, and I don't know about prosecco, maybe a little bit of spumante, like Cassandra was talking about. But I'm telling you, I don't think it's rare I come across a wine that I do not like.
Hmm.
It's hard.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That means
So-
you have a very vast palate.
Yes.
That means
I
you've
got
tried a lot
very
of different
fast
things.
salad.
Yeah.
So then, what are some of your traditions that, as a chef, you know, for us, you know, we do our traditional
Yeah, who's cooking in
turkey.
your household?
Exactly.
Do you get to take the day off finally, or do you cook for everybody?
Generally, you know, it's a pretty laid back day.
good.
Everybody brings a dish. I'm more of an air traffic controller on that day, as far as timing and okay, the turkey's got this much time. You should probably put that in, or you know, check on the gravy, do this kind of thing. More like directing traffic and just saying, do this to tighten it up to make sure everything comes out at the same time.
Right.
Because you have that one crazy aunt who brings a casserole that's going to be 45 minutes
Yeah.
after the turkey's done, and it messes up the whole thing. So just being a professional chef, one of the biggest things is timing.
Absolutely.
Right, with your food. You start when it
That
takes the
is
longest.
true.
That's why you get up at 7 in the morning and put the turkey in.
Hmm.
Because it takes all day.
But
And
you
then
can
you
fry
build
it
from there. You could fry it.
45 minutes.
But it's just like in the last
What?
10 minutes, well, you could fry it. You could fry it. And if you do it correctly, it comes out well, but it's also dangerous for the average person to fry something.
7 years.
Yeah.
I have never done this, and I don't believe I will be doing it this year, but it does sound good.
Yeah, so it's a lot of just direction, and usually in the last 10 minutes, I kind of like just take over and do this and that, pinch of this, stir that, and just make sure everything's going well, and then I sit back.
Presentation.
Yes.
Mhm.
One thing.
Extra turkey juice on the turkey to keep it moist. Like a lot of people don't think of that; they just
Oh,
kind
you
of throw
need
it
it.
up, pour it over the top. Little things like that to just kind of bring it all together. But I let my brothers, whoever else, do the cooking. I don't want to step.
So this year, are you having a big gathering?
No, this year I go to my younger brothers every year for the past however many 20 years. This is the first year we're just going to be at home. My wife, the 2 kids. We're going to make a big dinner, and
Wow.
that's going to be it.
I think it's all about the sides this year.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to keep it fun because there's not people just bringing different platters and different types of food. I mean, we always do, I know people do a lot of green bean casserole. We personally do broccoli casserole, which I kind of prefer. But casseroles are easy. You know?
Everybody has that casserole that somebody brings that
Yeah.
maybe you didn't like it the first year, the second year, but then by the
It
5th
grows
year,
on you.
you're like, we got to have
becomes
that.
a staple.
It's part of the tradition,
Yeah.
right? It's all about tradition. So everybody has their own little quirks for the holidays.
You know, I will have to say, I never thought of frying a turkey until we were running out of time, and I just simply said, you know what? let's fry turkey. It takes
Yeah.
45 minutes. Bam, you throw it in.
Mm-hmm.
Now, 7 years later, we're frying turkey.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
it tastes.
You find what works for you. Some people do it in
Absolutely.
the oven, some people fry it, some people do just the breasts, some
Mm-hmm.
people they mix it up, they just do it, whatever works for you.
Yeah.
I wish there was a turkey that had 5, 6 legs, 8 legs. Everyone's fighting for the friggin' legs.
It's
right?
true.
So but aside from that, we've been talking about Thanksgiving sides and tradition, and we've been drinking the white. What do we have for this red? Because I'm eager to jump to the
So
red.
this is one of the wines that we've featured in our Vino Live series in the past with me and Chef Kev. So this is Pilastro. This is from Apulia, southern Italy. It's a Primitivo Negro Amaro blend, mostly Primitivo, which is essentially kind of like Zinfandel. If you're a Zinfandel drinker, this is definitely geared towards you. And I did want to mention too, we are going to be coming out with kind of holiday themed packs of wine so that we can help you pair along with your meals. And I've been thinking a lot about turkey, how people don't eat turkey a lot throughout the year. It's kind of only end of the year tradition thing,
Right.
holiday thing. So it can be really hard to pair with. So I was thinking of doing something really nice and velvety like this, a Primitivo, some Tempranillos to get a nice little spice in there. And then your classic Pinot Noirs. We have one from Santa Barbara County, California. Just kind of lighter body Pinot Noirs, more of like that cranberry kind of style, less tannic. So you're not, if you accidentally overcook your turkey and it's a little dry, it's not going to stay on your tongue. So just some wines to help you feel festive and pair along with all the meals and keep things exciting. So stay in touch for that.
Speaking of cranberries, you guys do cranberry with the berries or the gel?
I'm a big canned jelly preservative traditional ocean spray guy.
I like that as well.
I do
but
too.
I also like the berry. I'm a big variety guy. I want to have a little bit of each to taste the difference. But if I had to pick one, it would be the straight gel.
But you know
Really?
what? Because you're a chef, so I'm always thinking, when people ask me, do you like coleslaw? I'm like, I love coleslaw. But I don't like fresh coleslaw. I like the KFC, preservative-filled, chopped up fine, heavy vinegar mayo coleslaw.
Well, it has tons of flavor, and people love that for a reason.
I get sucked into that all the time. But yeah, to answer your question, jelly cranberry sauce, right? I think everyone in the family loves that.
Yep.
I think it's a chunks of cranberry that turns people off.
Maybe. And it's different. If you've been eating that one kind since you were a kid, that's what you stick with, and you don't go stray from that. But again, I like a little of both because I like the straight jelly, but a few berries on the side too, just to be festive.
Oh,
I'm all about festive.
You are.
It's
You
all
are.
about the garnish.
Yes.
And you're a big garnish. You're like a presentation finish man.
Mhm.
So you look at some of your plates, and it's always a little drizzle that, and you always add that little pizzazz.
Right, but it's very important. I never do anything that's not going to add flavor.
Mhm.
I don't do it just for fun. Like this rainbow microgreens, there's micro basil in there. They have a lot of flavor. It's not just a chunk of parsley on a plate to make it look good.
Mhm.
Same thing with the balsamic. Goes perfect with the peaches, with the burrata, with the toast. So everything has to have a value on the plate.
Oh.
We don't just throw something on to make it look good.
And that's what we're talking about, value,
Yeah.
right? Because we have at Innovations the best value wines, right? We have our wine club. We're coming in for the holidays. And what else we have? We have like gift ideas, but
Absolutely. And you don't have to break the bank to get an impressive wine to bring to any, family, hopefully not party, but gathering or, festive event. You don't have to break the bank. There's really good value wines that are, not vintage. They're ready to drink. Most wines are ready to drink once they go on the shelves. So we're just going to pull a lot of wines from our collection to kind of help you guys scope out something that's going to be impressive, but also not going to be, killing you at the end of the day. Because
Yeah.
you're already spending enough money as it is on gifts and transportation, and you can have quality wine at a decent price.
Yeah, the good thing about you guys, though, you can just go on your website and there's descriptions, there's notes, there's all this stuff. The average novice might go into a wine shop and be standing there like, what do? I got to get the same old 3 that I get all the time.
Mhm.
Here you
true.
can actually learn. You can watch Vino Live and get tasting notes and say, I want to try a bottle of that. And then you can also get it shipped right to your house.
that's the
Absolutely.
beauty, right? Well, I think this is just a side activity that we're putting together because we wanted to give Kevin a break from his everyday cooking with us. But we love it. I'm eager to jump into the crab cakes and burrata. We want to thank you for coming and joining us for this roundtable chat. Plenty more to come. And Thank you.
Come back soon. Let's talk vino.
Cheers.